What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Dave. Guys, I'm super excited to make this video. We've talked about a couple interesting subjects before this video, such as our crazy $500,000 net worth, as well as how to calculate your net worth. But guys, today I would like to make a video talking about if I had to start over from zero tomorrow, how exactly I would do it. So I'm going to take you guys back to 18 years old. Now, some of you guys who are watching this video are 25, 30, 35, 40, but just follow me for a second because I just want to run you through the smart choices that should be made at 18 to set up your financial success for the future. I'm just going to be straight up with it. So if I was 18 years old, you have basically three choices in this world, right? You can go to college, you can go to the military, or you can go straight to the workforce, right? So I would decide what path I took. I'm going to stick with the path that I took because it's worked out well for me. You know, I can't complain. So I ended up going to college. Now I'm going to be straight up. This is where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of people go to these huge universities where they're forced to take out all this student loan debt, and that is a big no. What a lot of people don't know is student loan debt is the largest U.S. asset, right? U.S. government asset. So basically every month, when borrowers are paying back student loans, the government is making interest off of every single borrower that's paying interest if it's a government-funded student loan, right? So every month, the government wants customers, and the people who are in student loan debt are the government's customers. So I stayed out of student loan debt, guys. I would recommend if you take the college route, you need to go to a university that you can afford to pay cash, or if you do have to take out any debt, let it be minimal, guys, because I am anti-student loan debt. I hate student loan debt. I would never let a family member of mine take out any student loan debt because it's just not worth it, guys. And I've seen so many people trapped in their financial situation because of student loan debt. So let's fast forward. We get through college, or we get our job fresh out of high school, or we go to the military and we start making decent money. This is exactly what I would do to make sure that I became wealthy again if I started over from zero. So the first thing I would do is I would look to see what the real estate market is doing. So right now, the real estate market is a little bit different than when I first started investing about 5 years ago. I started investing in real estate in 2018. And back then, you know, there really wasn't as much competition in the market, and things were so different because just things were different. Like there wasn't as much competition, interest rates were lower, and it was just such a different environment. Right now, the real estate market is different. I'm not saying you can't make money in real estate because I bought a house earlier this year that's doing very, very well, but the opportunities are slim compared to back then. The opportunities were abundant, right? There were so many deals out there that you could make money on. Right now, you got to look a little bit harder. So I would look at possibly starting to invest in real estate. Now, one of the easiest ways to start investing in real estate is one of the ways that I personally did, right? The easiest way to get started on your real estate journey is to buy a house to actually live in and then live there for a year or two and then turn that house into a rental. Now, when you turn that house into a rental, you then go and buy another piece of property. So when you buy another piece of property, boom, now you got two cribs, right? You got two houses, and you doing it up, and then you can do that process again, and then you could buy a third house and a fourth house, and then eventually you could have as many homes as you want. The cool thing about real estate is when you rent out that last house, not only do you have a tenant paying you every month to live in that property, a lot of times the tenant is paying more, or most of the time they should pay more. If they don't, it really doesn't make sense to turn that house into a rental. But they should pay you more than what your mortgage payment is, so you're making cash flow. You're also getting tax deductions when you do your taxes. The tenant is also paying down your mortgage, y'all. They're paying down the mortgage on the property. You really can't beat it. And then the last cool thing about real estate is real estate most of the time always goes up in value. So if the property is going up in value, you're making cash flow, you're getting tax benefits, and then the mortgage is being paid down, you are building wealth via that one property over time, and that's going to turn into something big in your future. The next thing I would look at is I would look to see if my company offers a 401k plan. I recently just started investing in my 401k about a year ago at my company, and I should have started it when I graduated from college 5 years ago, but I was a knucklehead. I thought I knew it all, and I should have listened to my peers who told me that it was a good idea. The cool thing about the 401k is a lot of times companies will match a certain percentage. So for example, my job, they matched 2%. That's actually on the lower end. I worked at a company fresh out of college that I think matched 6 or 8%, which is like mind-boggling. I could only imagine if I would have been investing in that 401k way back then. But in my situation, I'm still blessed to have an employer match anything, right? So I put in a measly 2% a year, and then the company matches that, and I've seen that number grow over the past year, and I'm like, wow, this is dope. And I just have it in a standard S&P 500, following the market. The S&P 500 averages like 11%. I was about to say 30%. I'm tripping. That's some of my real estate investments. But the S&P 500 has averaged 11% or like 10.66 since its inception date. That's basically when it started, right? Years and years and years ago. So the past 30-year average has been almost 11%, which you really can't beat, right? And the cool thing about the stock market is I don't have anybody calling me. I don't have to go fix toilets. I don't have to do anything but put my money in there and let it ride, guys, right? And of course, there's going to be some years where it's going to dip a little bit, but then hopefully it'll come back and it'll keep riding, right? 30-year average, again, is almost 11%. So that's the cool thing with that. The last investment that I would make if I was going to be building wealth from starting out, right? And if you're 25, 30, these are the same steps. You're just starting later in life, and your investments might not grow to as much as they would have grown to if you were younger because of compound interest, right? But the same steps apply. The last investment that I would look into is the Roth IRA. The cool thing about the Roth IRA, and I mentioned it in an earlier video, but you pay your taxes on your money before you put it in. So basically what that means is my 401k, they take the money out before I pay tax on it. So they take it out of my check, kind of like they take the regular taxes out, but they take that money out that I'm putting into the 401k before I get paid, and it gets to grow tax deferred. And then when I take it out in retirement, I have to pay tax on it. The 401k is a little different because I get my paycheck and then I transfer that after tax money into my brokerage account, into my 401k, and then I invest that into the S&P 500 as well, and I let that ride the market because, again, the average of the S&P 500 over the past 30 years is almost 11%, guys. I cannot express that enough. That is crazy for literally putting your money, parking it, and letting it ride, guys. Now, back in the day, my grandparents used to be able to put money into the bank, make 10, 15% interest. Now, if you put money into the bank, it's not doing anything. So you have to save to then invest. You have to put that money to work because if it's not doing anything, guys, you will never build wealth. You're going to stay broke, and you don't want to stay broke because being broke ain't no fun. I've been there, done that. It ain't fun. I enjoy being rich so much better. I enjoy being able to go on vacations, being able to buy things that I want to buy, being able to live, eat good. I go into the grocery store. If I want a snack, I'm going to buy a snack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to live good, guys. I want to enjoy my life here because we're all our time is limited, guys. And guys, I just want to enjoy it, man, because we're here to enjoy it. We're not here to live in bondage. God does not want that for us. God wants us to manage what we have, right? What he gives us. Manage something small. And if he sees we can handle something small, he's going to give us something bigger and bigger and bigger. And as long as we're being faithful over the little, he's going to be able to trust us with a lot more. And that's what I'm here to share with you guys, my secrets to building wealth, because guys, there's nothing like being in control over your finances, guys. There's nothing like it. One bonus that I would look into invest in is life insurance. So life insurance is basically insurance on your life, such that if something were to happen to you, you could have your beneficiary, or in English, your beneficiary is basically who your money is left to if something were to happen to you. So you could have that person set to be a loved one, a family member. In my situation, of course, it would be my wife. And if something were to happen to me, my wife would receive a check, and however much your life insurance policy is set for, my life insurance policy right now is set for $500,000. But I believe that when we start having kids, I'm probably going to up that number, because if something were to happen to me, I would want to make sure that my kids will be able to get a good college education. They will grow up without any financial worry, because with $1 million, you know, you can do quite a bit. Now, $1 million isn't what it was 40 years ago, but $1 million is still a lot of money. And if you can acquire that level of wealth in your life, that's nothing to skimp over. You know, that's a lot of money. You know, a lot of people would die to have $1 million right now. We're just going to be honest. So guys, life insurance is something that I would for sure look into getting, because it is so vital, guys. If something were to happen to you, you don't want your family struggling. You don't want your wife figuring out if she got to sell the house, if she got to sell some of the properties just to get some money. You don't want, and the same thing for the wives out there leaving your husbands. You don't want your husband struggling, trying to figure out how he going to keep his job, but also take care of the kids, child care, everything, guys. Life is real, guys. So I'm telling you, those 4 things, if I was starting over from scratch today, I would look at what real estate is doing. I would look to see if my company has a 401k plan. I would invest in a Roth IRA, and then I would look at life insurance, because guys, you got to always be ready, because you never know what this life is going to bring you. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Always remember, when God is in it, there is no limit, guys. Your dream life is out there. You just got to find a way to go get it. We will see y'all in the next video. Peace.